This is a never-fail attention getter that dates back I was saying this is a never-fail attention getter. Are we live now? Better? This is a never-fail attention getter that I remember as a child used to call us to dinner. Well, at this point, it's calling us all to take a moment to celebrate our town's 225th birthday. We've had a lot of help in this process. And first of all, as president of the Longmeadow Historical Society, one of the participating groups here in this celebration committee, I want to ask the three young people from the Longmeadow High School music department who played for us as we assembled. And if they are here, I'd like to have you, here they are, I'd like to have you join me in a round of applause for their efforts and artistry. Thank you very much. I also want to call your attention to the poster up here, which you can read at your leisure, listing the other sponsors, businesses here in town, individuals that have helped put this celebration together. So we all want to thank them for their generous, kind, and generous support. I believe our guest of honor brought with her a special proclamation, and I'm going to ask her to come up with Paul Santaniello, the chair of the select board here in Longmeadow, to receive the proclamation, and they can flip a coin to decide who reads it. So, Paul and Mary, would you come forward? The proclamation is here.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our 225th. I was active with Linda Roger, co-editing the bicentennial history, and 200 years seemed like forever, and now that was 25 years ago. So thanks to Linda for helping with that, and to Bob McGovern, who was chairman of the Longmeadow Historical Society at the time, for twisting our arms and getting us to put that effort forward, which I think has served the town well. And anyone who's ever been to an event honoring anyone has seen a citation delivered by me, but this event called for more than a citation. This event calls for a proclamation. And it's great to have this for the record. The only thing is, in order to get a proclamation, you've got to read whereases. So please be patient with me as I tell you why we're celebrating today. Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a proclamation from His Excellency Governor Deval Patrick. Whereas the town of Longmeadow was first settled as a precinct of Springfield in 1644, and whereas on October 17th, 1783, Longmeadow became the first community to be included in the newly created Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And whereas, with its name stemming from the Indian name Massaxik, meaning long meadow, the land provided an economic base for its people as food source and a safe haven for Puritan pioneers in its meadows. And whereas throughout our history, the men and women of Longmeadow have answered the call of duty and served in our armed forces, and whereas we congratulate the town of Longmeadow and its citizens on the 225th anniversary of its incorporation and extend greetings as they gather to celebrate this important milestone in their history. Now, therefore, I, Deval L. Patrick, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim October 17th, 2008 to be Longmeadow Day, and urge all citizens of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance, given at the Executive Chamber in Boston this 15th day of October in the year 2008, and the independence of the United States of America, the 232nd, by His Excellency Deval Patrick, Governor of the Commonwealth, and also signed by the Secretary of the Commonwealth. So congratulations, Longmeadow. Thank you for celebrating.
Before hearing further from our guest of honor and our chair of the select board, I want to call on Chris Hall, who has chaired this past year a special committee to honor those businesses and individuals who have worked to preserve their homes and places of business in a historically significant way. Chris, would you come forward and present your awards to those public-spirited individuals who have distinguished themselves in this department? Chris?
I promise not to use any whereases. As introduced, I'm Chris Hall of the Longmeadow Historical Commission, and over the last year, the Historical Commission has joined forces with the Historical Society and the local Historic District Commission to do a variety of things. And one of the things we recognized needed to be done was to have those people who have contributed to the preservation of Longmeadow history recognized in some way. So Crystal Diamond and I have worked on the committee. I have represented the Historical Commission. Crystal has represented the local Historic District Commission, and Betsy McKee has served as a member representing the Historical Society. And what we would like to do at this point is to present the awards for 2008. And Crystal will start off.
Happy birthday, everybody. I am very honored to present this first award to Bay Path College. I am an alum, so I have a very special place in my heart for the school. And we are presenting it to Bay Path College for the restoration of the Bay Path President's House at 896 Longmeadow Street. When Bay Path took over the property, they faced a significant challenge. The property had suffered from neglect and had accumulated a number of non-historic features. Bay Path took up the challenge, and the result is a wonderful enhancement to the Longmeadow Green. Our first award goes to Bay Path College and Ford Gillen Architects. And representing the college tonight is Mike Giampietro and Dusty Hoyt. And if you'd come up and accept the awards.
The next award is regards the building that we now occupy, the community house, and hopefully you all have noticed the changes that have been taking place over the last few months. A new balustrade is in place. The paint job has been redone, and basically the community house has been brought back to some of its former glory. As you can see, looking at the ceiling, there's still some things to be done, but it takes work and money to get them done, and we're recognizing Robin Crosby, our town manager, as seeing what needed to be done on the exterior and applying for a CPA grant and working committedly with the local Historic District Commission to make sure the job really got done right. And if you haven't looked at it recently, tomorrow when it's a bright sunny day, look at it. It looks fabulous. And thank you, Robin. We'd come down and accept an award.
Our next award goes to a homeowner, and I hope he won't get too embarrassed, but one of my first meetings at the Historic District, we were all sitting around the table, and someone brought out this file, and honestly, I think it was like 6 inches thick. And that file belonged to Dr. Jeffrey and Faith Wind, and this award goes to them. Over time, the Winds have made numerous changes to their property to meet with their needs. The Winds have invariably gone the extra mile in providing the local Historic District Commission with needed information and have worked to incorporate suggested modifications where needed. The Winds have shown how property owners and the local Historic District Commission can work in partnership to effect positive change. And I hope Dr. Wint will come up and receive his award. He's done a wonderful job.
Where would we be without the news? We'd still have town criers, but fortunately in Longmeadow, we've gone just slightly beyond that in our 225 years, and we have a faithful reporter at the Longmeadow News who day in and day out comes, and I'm always amazed every week when the Longmeadow News comes out that Hope has again filled all of the pages. And I don't know if you've noticed over the last year or so, but there's been a real commitment from the Longmeadow News and from Hope to include educational articles about Longmeadow history, and that's the next version of the news. You can text it. And so I'd like to present the award this year to the Longmeadow News and Hope Tremblay.
Our next award is not going to a specific house or a business, but this is going to go to a neighborhood. All the great things which get done in the town of Longmeadow don't just happen. People are behind these events, and one of the most important means of historic preservation occurs at the grassroots level, where neighbors join together to help in the effort. Colony Hills is probably the most well-preserved neighborhood in Longmeadow. This has not happened by chance. The Colony Hills Neighborhood Association has been a motive force in the preservation efforts for a long time. In addition, the Colony Hills Neighborhood Association has taken extra steps by applying for CPA funds to protect their existing street lamps and signs, which date to the origin of the neighborhood and have been a feature for more than 80 years. The key participants from the Colony Hills Neighborhood Association have been Mark Wojcik, Fred Craig, Stephen France, and not present tonight, but Kathy Bocchero. And I'd like Mark, Fred, and Stephen to come forward to receive their award.
The last award winner really needs no introduction. I'm sure that at some time or other, if you've lived in Longmeadow for more than a year, you have seen this individual give a talk, give a walk around the green. You may have had children who were students of his. And so we're presenting a Lifetime Achievement Award to Peter Santos. And I would go through all of his many accomplishments, but I don't have time. I have to finish before midnight, so Crawford tells me. So, but just a few of them are, Peter was instrumental in the formation of the local historic district, and then for 7 years after the formation of the district, he piloted the local historic district commission, and that was an interesting time as people kind of figured out, well, what did it mean to be in a local historic district. Peter also worked on the Historical Society board. He taught in the Longmeadow schools for over 30 years. He taught history, and he was a founder of Longmeadow Days. And I think everyone has really enjoyed his walks around the green. I know that I have learned a great deal from Peter. So Peter, if you'd come up, I'd like to congratulate you. Well, thank you very much. And whereas Crawford is next, I'm going to put him on the mic here.
Thank you, Chris. Now I'm going to call the chair of our Longmeadow Select Board here for a presentation to our guest of honor. Paul?
Thank you, Crawford. Before I begin, I want to congratulate all our award recipients this evening for your work that you've done to make Longmeadow, or keep Longmeadow the place that it is, and to thank the historical boards and commissions for putting this together, putting our celebration together. I'm going to put this down for a second. That'll look nice on the mantle. But thank you for putting this together, because one of the things, the neat thing about Longmeadow, and what I really like about our town, is what brought my wife and I here was the town itself. And I think preserving that and remembering what this town is and where it is, what we are, and how unique it is a wonderful thing. And in Crawford, I'd like to thank the Society and Historic Commission and District Commission for continuing the work that you're doing. I have the honor this evening of presenting an award to Mary Rogness for her service that she's given to the town of Longmeadow on behalf of the society. And Mary, if you can come up, I'd like to present this to you on behalf of the town and the societies, and I'm asked if you could open that.
Thank you, Paul.
Want me to help you? I'm sure
It's
that's
an
it.
easy open box, that one.
It's in
A
there
lot of
somewhere.
wrapping.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere. It's just wrapping paper, I'm sorry. It's in the wrong box. No.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it says, it's to present it to Mary Rognes, our Longmeadow, 1991-2008, your town thanks you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is a surprise and a wonderful tray, which I will treasure. I invite you all to come look at it next to the cake when we're through. Something Paul said caught my attention. He said it was the town that brought him and his wife here. That's certainly what brought my husband and me to Longmeadow in 1970. I'd like to just ask how many of you are native Longmeadow people? Yeah. Yeah, one thing I learned when we wrote the book was that Longmeadow, about 1945, had only 5,000 people in it. And so there, I guess people who were born after that, is every year the population went up for a long time, and more people would have been born here, but the people who grew that population were the ones that moved in, like all the rest of us did. I know some have moved in and already moved out, but would remind you that National Magazine has said Longmeadow is one of the 10 best places to retire. You don't have to leave. but thank you to Longmeadow for all that you have done for me and for your tribute tonight.
Before we ask Mary to cut the cake, the birthday cake, Susan Hall has a special presentation on behalf of the community. Susan?
Mary, we need you again. On behalf of the Longmeadow Historical Society, the Longmeadow Historical Commission, and the Longmeadow Historic District Commission, and we apologize for the lack of the microphone, but we thank you so much for everything that you have done for these many years to promote the appreciation and the excitement that I think we all share tonight about our rich historic heritage. So thank you.
If Mary counts the roses in the spray, there are 17, one for each year that she served this town and the district and got on the turnpike and went to Boston on behalf of all the residents hereabouts. Well, one more official act, Mary, and we're going to ask you to be joined by Paul Santaniello, the chair of our select board, if you would go down the stairs and cut the ceremonial cake. And we'll all have to join together with happy birthday to the town of Longmeadow. And just like at weddings, there are pieces already cut that will be coming forth from the kitchen at this point. But now for the ceremonial cut. Anywhere. Let's give her a little music to accompany it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Longmeadow. Happy birthday to you. That concludes our formal program. The cake is on its way out, and we hope you will stay and enjoy some birthday cake and some cider, and take this opportunity to greet Mary Rogness and thank her for her service to the town. Thank you all for coming.